श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम्। ॐ स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतार वरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः। जननीं शारदां देवीं रामकृष्णं जगद्गुरुं पादपद्मे त्रयोश्रित्वा प्रणमामि मुहुर्मुहुः। परतत्त्वेतशदादिनो रामकृष्णशमग्गया यो धर्मस्थापनरतो विदेशं तं नमाम्यहम्। कालिन्दी फुल्लकमले माधवेन क्रीडारत ब्रह्मानन्दं नमस्तुभ्यं सद्गुरु लोकनायक योगानन्द प्रेमानन्दश्चान्यवये च पार्षदः रामकृष्णं गतप्राणं सर्वांस्तान् प्रणमाम्यहम्। नमस्कार। আজকের এই সভা পাঠে বিশেষ পাঠ আপনাদের সকলকে স্বাগত জানাচ্ছি। আজকে পূজনীয় শ্রীমৎ স্বামী রামকৃষ্ণানন্দজি মহারাজের শুভ জন্মতিথি উপলক্ষে আমাদের সন্ধ্যা আরত্রিকম ও ভজনের পরে ভজনের আগে বিশেষ অনুষ্ঠান, বিশেষ পাঠ, মহারাজের জীবন ও বাণী নিয়ে আমরা আলোচনা করব। মহারাজ আমরা জানি যে রামকৃষ্ণানন্দজি মহারাজ দক্ষিণে সাউথ ইন্ডিয়ায় এই রামকৃষ্ণ মুভমেন্টটাকে শুরু করেছিলেন। তাই আজকে তার স্মরণে মাদ্রাস মহারাজের আমেরিকা থেকে ফেরার পরে পাঠটি আমরা আলোচনা করব। রিটার্নিং from America in January 1897, Vivekananda stopped at Colombo in Sri Lanka and in some important cities in South India. In Madras, he stayed for 9 days in the Castle Kerenan, which was also known as the Ice House because it has been constructed by the American company to store ice in the sea. Swamiji created a great enthusiasm amongst the people in Madras, and they have asked him to send one of his brother monks to start the monastery there. With Swami Ramakrishnananda in mind, Swamiji told them, "I will send you one who is more orthodox than the most orthodox Brahmins of the south, who is at the same time incompatible in performing worship, scriptural knowledge and meditation on God." স্বামীজি বললেন, স্বামীজি সেখানে যে মুভমেন্টটি শুরু করেছিলেন, সে বক্তৃতা দিয়েছিলেন, সেখানে তারপরে স্বামীজিকে সবাই অনুরোধ করেছিলেন যে আমাদের মধ্যেও অন্যতম কোনো মহারাজকে পাঠান যে এখানে একটি প্রতিষ্ঠা মানে মঠ প্রতিষ্ঠা করবেন। তো সেখানে স্বামীজি বলেছিলেন সকলকে আশ্বাস দিয়ে যে আমি তোমাদের এমন একটি ব্রাহ্মণ, এমন একটি যোদ্ধাকে পাঠাবো, শ্রীরামকৃষ্ণের সৈনিক, যে ঠাকুরের 16টি পার্ষদ তারা আর কেউ নয়, আমরা দেখতে পাই তারা হচ্ছে শ্রীরামকৃষ্ণ পরমহংসদেবের সৈনিক, পাঠানোর যে আমরা সেনা, তার সেনাপতি তারা হচ্ছে লিডার। তাই বলছে আমি তোমাদের মধ্যে এমন একজনকে পাঠাবো যারা এই সাউথের যারা অর্থোডক্স ব্রাহ্মণ তাদের থেকেও মোস্ট অর্থোডক্স, at the same time incomparable in performing worship, scriptural knowledge and meditation on God. পূর্ণভাবেই সে বিকশিত সেরকম একজন যোদ্ধাকে তোমাদের মধ্যে আমি পাঠাবো। Swami Ramakrishnananda Maharaj was cordially received by the Madrasi devotees of Vivekananda. The first retained Flora cottage located in the same road as the Ice House. Shortly after, Biligiri Iyengar, a prominent lawyer and owner of the Ice House, offered the first floor of the castle to Ramakrishnananda Maharaj to start his work. Because the disciple had learned from the master first God and then the world, so Swami Ramakrishnananda Maharaj first set up the shrine in a room and installed the picture of Sri Ramakrishna Master, which he has carried from Calcutta. So Swamiji has already given the message that first we have to see the God, and then we have to see the world. So first of all, Swami Ramakrishnananda Maharaj did the work of installing the Ramakrishna image of Sri Ramakrishna in a small room. He then began to conduct worship service as he had before. In addition, he started to give classes on Upanishad, Gita and Bhagavata. At one time, he gave 11 classes a week in different parts of the city, traveling by Jutka, a narrow, comfortable horse-drawn carriage. Sometimes he would return to the monastery after exhausting day of classes and lecture to find that there was no food for supper. Swami Ramakrishnanandaji's life exemplified the teachings of Bhagavad Gita, that you are entitled to work but never to its fruit. Swami Shankarananda recalled that the Bhagavad Gita the main শ্লোকটি যে অন্যতম শ্লোকের অর্থ যে তুমি কর্ম করে যাও ফলের চিন্তা করে না, সেটি আমরা স্বামী রামকৃষ্ণানন্দজি শশী মহারাজের জীবন থেকে আমরা খুব সুন্দরভাবে দেখতে পাই। One afternoon it was drizzling and the sky was overcast with clouds. A hanky carriage came in time to take Swami to his class, and the Swami asked the Brahmacharin, probably Shankarananda himself, to come accompany him on that day. The carriage arrived at the gorge town where the Swami used to hold one of his classes. There was no one else in the room because that day was the cloudy day, the rainy day, so no one has arrived there. Shashi Maharaj waited there about a quarter of an hour, but no one turned up. He then opened his Upanishad and began to read and explain with all order and ability. After an hour he stopped, closed his book and said to the Brahmacharin, "Well, let us go." The Brahmacharin followed him to the carriage which was waiting. On the way he asked the Swami, "How is it that you gave the class for fully 1 hour though nobody turned up?" Swamiji replied, "I have not come to teach anybody. I only fulfill the vow I have taken." সেদিনকে কেউ ছিল না, nobody was there at the time. Only Swami Shankarananda Maharaj was there. Maharaj opened the Upanishad and read by himself, and after an hour passed, closed the book and gone from there. Later on, Swami Shankarananda Maharaj was asking that nobody turned up, nobody was there, for whom you were reading? Then Maharaj replied that I have not come to teach anybody. আমি কারোকে শিক্ষা দিতে আসিনি. I only fulfill the vow that I have taken. আমি সেই প্রতিজ্ঞাটি পূর্ণ করতে এসেছি, যেটা আমি সেই নিয়েছি সন্ন্যাস হওয়ার দিন, সেটা আমি নিয়েছি। Like all pioneers, Ramakrishnananda faced various difficulties. He received very little financial help from his devotees, lived alone most of the first 4 years. It was a strenuous life. He had to perform the worship, give classes, cook, and do all the duties, the household duties. In addition, he was trying to inspire and train some young people. In his inaugural lecture on necessity of religious education in youth, he added that religion takes a man to God by making God of a man. Religion is the highest chemistry, for it analyzes the compound man into elements: ego, non-ego, the self, the non-self, the soul and the body. Religion is the burning furnace in which is burnt up all dross of his heart. He then concluded, the heart of a young man is very pure, so it is fit reservoir for diligence to flow in, and every young man therefore is a fit candidate for place in heavenly office of religion. Maharaj added, Maharaj told Sushi Maharaj that religion takes a man to God, Bhakti Yoga, where there is a union of the Bhakta's mind and the God's mind. Bhakti Yoga, Yoga, by making God of a man. That same phrase came that from Jibogyane Shivo Sheva. By the song it was written that Jai Jeev Shai Siv, Jai Siv, Jai Jeev. And then he is telling that religion is the highest chemistry, for it analyzes the compound man into elements: ego, non-ego, self, non-self, soul, the body. এটা বলছে এলিমেন্টস থেকে কম্পাউন্ড হয়, বলছে মানে কম্পাউন্ড ম্যানকে ইনটু এলিমেন্টস এ টার্ন করবে: ইগো, non-ego, self, non-self, soul, body. And the religion is the burning fun, basically the Jnana Yoga. Think of discrimination, where we put in ourselves the Jnana in which we can discriminate between good things and wrong things. That religion is the burning furnace in which burnt up all dross of heart. He then concluded, the heart of a young man is very pure, so it is fit reservoir for religion to flow in, and every young man therefore is a fit candidate for a place in the heavenly office of religion. যে কথাতে স্বামীজিও বলেছিলেন, জাগ্রত করেছিলেন সুন্দরভাবে, অন্যভাবে, রামকৃষ্ণানন্দজি মহারাজ, শশী মহারাজ বলছেন যে যুবকদের মনটি হচ্ছে একটি কাঁচা মাটির মতন, যার মধ্যে জল ঢেলে সেটাকে বিভিন্ন আকৃতিতে ভরা যাবে। তারা এতটাই পিওর যে তাদের ওই মনটি হচ্ছে একটা ফিট রিজার্ভারের মতো, যেখানে জলরূপী রিলিজিয়ান ওইখান দিয়ে ফ্লো করতে, ধর্ম ওখান দিয়ে ফ্লো করতে পারে। এবং প্রত্যেকটি ইয়াং ইউথই হচ্ছে একটা ফিট ক্যান্ডিডেট ওই দরবারে বসার জন্য, ভগবানের দরবারে, ধর্মের দরবারে বসার জন্য। He tried to spread the teachings of Ramakrishna among his students and reminded them that purity and renunciation are essential in spiritual life. He boldly declared that the God and the Mammon cannot be worshipped simultaneously. This made a few city leaders nervous, who, as they were afraid that their boys would shun family life and become monastic, they threatened to withdraw financial support to Shashi Maharaj did not support if Ramakrishnananda Maharaj, Shashi Maharaj did not change the mode of his teaching. So now the family member and all started came in a panic mode that with these teachings all will go to the path of dharma, all will renunciate the world, all will leave everything and become monks. So they threatened Shashi Maharaj that first of all Shashi Maharaj was getting very least financial support, and then they told that we will not give you anything. We will withdraw the financial support if you did not change the way of teaching that you are giving to your students. So, as a true disciple of Sri Ramakrishna, he could not compromise the truth. So, first of all, only with the first example we have got that Shashi Maharaj did not compromise with anyone. When there was nobody, he himself read the Upanishad and gone. Here also, he privately said to an ardent devotee, "Am I to preach other than what I learned from my master? Certainly, I won't do that. I don't care a fig for the big wigs. They are at liberty to whatever they like. If I am ousted today from this castle, I shall very gladly find accommodation in one room of one my student's house. I am a sannyasin and did not know where my next meal will come from." Because he was in debt, Shashi Maharaj went to a publisher of Upanishad in Madras and told him, "I translate Upanishad for you." So then Maharaj also replied that if I cannot change my way. Whatever I have learned from my master, that only I will preach, because I have taken him as a guru, and I have full respect for my guru. And if I am made out of this house, I will manage in anywhere. I am a sannyasin, and I am not knowing for my future. I am only seeing the present. And then as he was in debt, so he went to Upanishad, the publisher of the Upanishad in Madras, and told him that I shall translate the Upanishad for you. Please give me some money. Realizing Shashi Maharaj's financial difficulties, the publisher arranged a monthly subscription for the fledgling monastery. The Raja of Ramnath also began to send some money on a regular basis. So now again started the financial support was there, and thus the master provided Ramakrishnananda's bare necessities. So master means Sri Ramakrishna is always there for his devotees, for his disciples. Whenever they are in need, Sri Ramakrishna always helps them. When Swamiji was in need in Chicago, he helped him. When Shashi Maharaj was in need, he also helped him. Never ever he has. There was a situation in which his disciple struck and he has not come to help him. In June 1899, Swami Vivekananda left to Calcutta for America for the second time with Swami Turiyananda and Sister Nivedita. They wished to visit Madras but were not allowed to land as there was a plague in Calcutta and the ship was quarantined in the Madras harbour. There was a great disappointment to the whole city. The boat anchored far from the where friends and devotees who gathered in large number to meet Swamiji had to take small boats to sea. Swami Ramakrishnananda Maharaj took a boat with some devotees. He had about 30 pounds of flour and prepared a single-handedly various kind of salty, the nimki and the sweet, the goja, snacks for Swamiji, which he has carried with him for the several large cans. Swamiji greeted him and talked to him, leaning from the deck. He had a big jar of Ganges water for Shashi Maharaj. The food, fruits, flowers and other presents were drawn up in the basket and the Ganges water was lowered to them in the same basket. Prevented from touching Swamiji's feet, Shashi Maharaj said to his companion, "Please ask the boatman to take us to the right around this steamer. Please let us make one pradakshina, like we did in front of the deity." Whenever Swami Shashi Maharaj saw that they cannot touch the feet of the Swami Vivekananda, then only he took the idea of Ganesha. And he also have a pradakshina of his of Shiva and Parvati. So the Swamiji is a form of Shiva. Instead of doing that, he asked the boatman to take us round the steamer, to make a pradakshina. When the boatman grumbled, Shashi Maharaj offered him some extra money, therefore fulfilling his wish. And Swamiji returned from West in December 1900. December 1901, Shashi Maharaj visited Vivekananda at Belur Math. The monastery had been moved from Alam Bazar in 1989. It was Shashi Maharaj's first visit into the new monastery, the Belur Math. He was happy to see the permanent abode for the master on the bank of Ganges, also to visit Swamiji, whose health was not good at the time. On January 1902, Swamiji initiated Brahmachari Vasanta, who was with Ramakrishnananda at Madras, into sannyasa, naming him Swami Paramananda. Both Shashi Maharaj and Swami Paramananda Maharaj returned to Madras in the middle of January 02, and on the night of 4th July 1902, Shashi Maharaj called Satchidananda loudly. Dinobandhu, what happened? Asked Satchidananda Maharaj. Shashi Maharaj told that I saw Swamiji standing before me. He said to me, "Look here, Shashi." I threw away this body like spitting out spittle, and he spat twice or thrice. Both Swamis could not figure out the meaning of that vision. Neither they got any more sleep that night. Next day, Shashi Maharaj received the cable from Belur Math with the sad news of passing away of Swami Vivekananda. That Swamiji has given them the message that now I am giving out my body. My work is done. And that they did not sleep that night also. After that, they got Shashi Maharaj cried for the beloved leader and arranged a big memorial meeting in Madras. Memory of Swami Vivekananda. One, Swami Shankarananda reminisced one summer morning between 1902 into 3. Shashi Maharaj returned from his classes by 10:30 a.m. in a hanky carriage. After returning to his room, he stripped himself, sat on the edge of the cot. He began to fan himself. So seeing him in such plight owing to the summer heat, the brahmachari began to fan him from behind. After a minute or so, the Swami threw away his fan with clenched fist, threw out his arms as if to fight with somebody. He began to say, "It is for you that I suffer so much. See what suffering I go through." The next moment, he fell flat on the floor with outstretched hand and joined palms, and began to rub his face on the carpet, saying that, "No, brother, no, excuse me. What you have done is perfect. It is all right." He got up with flowing eyes and blissful countenance, and cast a divine look around him before he sat. All this was Swami Vivekananda. All this was with Swami Vivekananda, who had sent him to Madras to live a life molded by Sri Ramakrishna. So all the things they were used to do by himself. Nobody was there to do this, do one's other work. The self-dependent that Sri Ramakrishna have already taught to them. The Swami Vishuddhananda Maharaj also wrote in his memories that once I saw Shashi Maharaj praying before an oil painting of Swami Vivekananda after his return from a lecture tour. I overheard his fervent prayers as he bowed down before him. O my beloved brother, you are verily the resident representative of Sri Ramakrishna, and it is you who have sent me over here to propagate his message. I am only carrying out your commands. You to see to it that no pride or self-esteem enter my heart, no thirst for my name, no fame disturb my mind. So as he was a sannyasi, he left the world, renounced from the world, praying to the part of Lord Shiva, Angsha of Lord Shiva, Avatar of Lord Shiva, that you have sent me here. Make sure that there not comes any point of self-esteem that enters my heart. There will be no thirst for my name, no fame, no name, no fame. All the burden and the responsibility that you have placed upon me are verily yours. Bless me so that I may carry on the work of our Master only as an instrument in my hand, and that I may offer the fruits of work unto him. Shashi Maharaj here told that I am leaving the I. I is the Aham. I am leaving the I. You and we. And our. That's the main thing. Guide me always in the right path. What a glorious example of self-surrender, dedication to God and His word. This was the prayer that he was doing to Swami Vivekananda before the oil painting. There is a saying, one should adore the children of the Guru like the Guru. One should adore the children of the Guru like the Guru. Shashi Maharaj's love and esteem towards his brother disciples almost bordered on worship. Once this Swami was in Ernakulam, South India, and stayed with Mr. Durai Swami Iyer, a prominent lawyer. Upon entering the house, Shashi Maharaj told Mr. Iyer, I have heard that Swami Vivekananda stayed in your house in his itinerant days. This is the holy place. I wish to see that exact place or room where he stayed. Mr. Iyer replied, he was seated when he came in, even everywhere we are stand now. At once Shashi Maharaj rolled on the floor and kissed the ground, for to him that very dust of this place was his leader, had been sacred. And he told that the very place we are all standing, both standing, the same place Swamiji was there. As soon as he concluded, he finished the line, Shashi Maharaj rolled on the ground. And he thinks that Swamiji's presence is there on every particle. Perfection in life comes from good and systematic training. Several monks who lived with Ramakrishnananda Maharaj were unanimous in their opinion that Swamiji was a strict disciplinarian in the Madras monastery, and hard task maker. He established the routine in the Madras monastery. Every monk has to got up by 5 a.m. need to practice meditation in their room. Swamiji opened the shrine, performed the morning service offering food, then he returned to his room reciting the Chandi, Gita, Vishnu Sahasranama. After an hour, the one monk removed the food tray from the shrine Another monk cleaned the sign worship vessels, and another monk fixed the breakfast. After breakfast, Shashi Maharaj and some monks cut vegetables. They worked. One monk read the scripture, and the Swami explained its meaning. Punctually at 11 a.m., Shashi Maharaj went to Shrine to perform the daily worship, the Bhogarati and everything. After food offering at 12:30 p.m., shrine was closed. After lunch, monks rested. At 3 p.m., they all went to Shashi Maharaj rooms. There was one of the monks read the Chaitanya Charitamrita, life of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. There, Swamiji explained it with parallel example of life and teachings of Sri Ramakrishna. Because both were same, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sri Ramakrishna both are same. And at the evening there was a Vesper service. 8:30 p.m. food was offered to the master. 9 p.m. shrine was closed. After supper, Ramakrishnananda told stories about the master and Swamiji with his natural enthusiasm. So this was the whole routine that he has made for everyone. So today on the holy occasion, auspicious day of his Jayanti, Janmatithi, I would like to offer pranam in the feet of Sri Ramakrishna, his 16 disciples, Mother SARADA Devi, and especially Swami Ramakrishnananda Maharaj, and pray for all well-beings in their holy feet. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. নমস্কার। এরপর সন্ধ্যা আরতি এবং কিছুক্ষণের মধ্যে সন্ধ্যা আরতি এবং ভজন পরিবেশিত হবে। নমস্কার। Jaya Jaya Nara